What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy, had a strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, and awesome. All right, everybody. So just real quick, going over some prior words that the Father had highlighted to me over the last 24 hours regarding his warnings to me and different pieces he was giving me about the fires and the what he called disturbance occurrence that's going on in the western part of the United States, specifically at this given moment, California. Okay, so we're going to give clarity here as the Father had given me clarity and just go over a couple of things and some detail. And of course, you know, we do the background first, then the prior words, and then the events themselves to have everything ordered and understandable. Okay, so starting off with the December 5th, 2023 word. This was the first time the Father had mentioned disturbance occurrence to me. So God gave me a warning for West United States. And in this vision, he kept showing me, highlighting the western part of the United States. And he said, a disturbance occurrence. And he said it twice, a disturbance occurrence. And he had said it would be unexpected, which the fires were unexpected and still are. So just praying for the people as a whole in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Now, this is where I'm going to start to give clarity here. So January 9th, 2024, God had given me a vision of destruction, warships, and ocean secrets. Okay, so the destruction piece here. Now, this is where I want to give clarity because he gave it to me. I remember a fulfillment of a bombing of a city that had happened beginning 2024. And with this particular word that I'm showing you all, this was used. This was a word or a vision he had already warned me about. It was the disturbance occurrence. And because in this particular vision, I didn't know where I was. I couldn't identify where I was. It kind of tied into that, me not thinking it was the United States. But the Father actually was talking about the disturbance occurrence. So he gave me more detail of what that was. So just to give clarity here, but that whole bombing of a city warning was its own thing that did happen. So I just want to give clarity there. The Father had given me clarity here. And I'm just going to show you a piece of the screenshot of that video. So what was happening here, I was walking with Jesus through fire, like it was fire everywhere. And people were just in chaos. And Jesus basically settled me. And, you know, like he always does when he shows us unfortunate type of scenarios, but we're walking through it. It's like we're living through it in the moment. And that's what this was looking like right here as I'm showing you. I'm going to show you in the video so you can get a better understanding as well. But just given that, literally seeing what the people were going through. So again, just praying for them and praying that they see God for who he is and not be bitter towards the Father if they've lost everything, and just praying for a better understanding of the Father and knowing that you cannot live without him, you know, and he just wants to save you. Ultimately, when you lose things of this world, it's meaningless to what's in heaven, the kingdom of heaven, you know. So I am just praying for that. And in this last warning video, I do want to clarify here where the Father had given me this July 16th, 2024. God gave me a massive vision of a California earthquake. So this was a two-part vision. And I remember doing this particular setup for the video. It was the first part, then the earthquake transition part with Jesus standing in the desert. This first part, The Father had showed me twice. He highlighted the outline of California, and he says, pray for California, the people in California. A disturbance occurrence. He said it again, July 16, 2024. Then it was transitioned over to the earthquake scene, which was a different vision. Okay. So the Father was really telling me a disturbance occurrence. What is a disturbance occurrence? And what is the definition? So 2 different words. Disturbance is an interruption of a peaceful setting, right? An occurrence is an event or incident that happens. So disturbance, occurrence together, a interruption in a peaceful setting caused by an incident or an event, the fires. So I hope that's just making sense to people as I put it all together for you all. The Father was letting us know big time, like, hey, this is happening. This is getting ready to happen. Pray for these individuals. So we're just going to continue to pray because I don't know how far this stuff is going to go. Don't be in fear. God will cover you when you are in his house. All right. Anoint your homes. Continuously pray. You will be okay. God has got you. The January 9th vision was literally about a year, if not a year, from when these fires started happening. Literally a year to the day just about from the fires happening. You can't even make it up. So remember, just don't be afraid. Keep rocking and rolling. This year's going to probably get a lot crazier, but we're going to be all right. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling and taking it one day at a time, not worrying about tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So peace and blessings, and let's move on to the prior words and then the events themselves. All right. Let God tell us the way he told us and see what's going on, because it's a lot of unexpected. So in this vision, I seen Jesus pointing at the U.S. and at the world in general when we were in outer space in this vision. So Jesus pointed again and the U.S. was highlighted. Then you know how you watch movies and certain like maps show up and it's like a hologram and then it gives you the information about the location? That's how it was. So the U.S. pops up, but then it immediately shifts towards the western part of the country. It seemed like it was more on the coast, and then just like that western part in general, that western piece of the U.S. And it zoomed in on that western piece and it said the western part. Literally, it says western part. So then the Lord said a disturbance, unexpected, pay attention. That's all he said to me. Then again, there were letters that popped up that I could see that said a disturbance occurrence. So I'm going to say one more time. Letters that popped up that said a disturbance occurrence. And I'm looking at it right now. I can see Jesus pointing towards the western part of the U.S. And I can see like it being put in red, like that part of the country in red. So whatever is going to go on, that's what the Lord is warning about where. I don't know what type of disturbance, okay? So just make sure you take the words back to the Lord in prayer. It's a lot going on. So yeah, very, very quick. January 8th, vision here. Let's talk about it. I had a vision that I saw Jesus. Soon as I went into that mode of vision mode, very hard to explain, but you know, if you know, you know. So I seen Jesus, the first person I saw. He grabbed my hand and walked me through this chaos, which there was fire everywhere. Like something had just caught on fire, burned up everywhere. People were screaming and yelling, and it was just crazy running. But Jesus, you know, kept me calm and held my hand and just walked me through. And I saw this at least 2 or 3 times. Then in the next part, God gave me an indicator of something coming that he had been warning about. I saw a fire truck, and it was around 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I was like, whoa, that's not a coincidence, putting the fire out. Now, this is what the Lord had to say directly about that. Watch the waters, my child. So in reference to what he told me with the waters. Let's get started with the vision. I seen this part of the vision twice at different points in the morning. The Lord highlighted the state of California in all red. And then I saw the words, and he said them as well. Pray for California. Pray for them. A disturbance occurrence. Now, I've heard this before back last year in, I think, November. He was talking about in the West Coast a disturbance occurrence as well. Continuing onward.
This morning, the firestorm officials had feared becoming a reality, with a third out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
At the end of the day, I mean, who's ready for something like this?
Overnight, flames reaching the iconic Malibu neighborhood and its
Fox News alert right now, fire crews in Los Angeles racing to contain an out-of-control wildfire, bracing for more strong winds to threaten their progress. 16 victims are confirmed dead, and more than 100,000 remain evacuated.
Joining us when you heard that these wildfires had broken out in the first place?
So I actually was already prepared and preparing to make my way down to LA. I live in Santa Cruz, but I saw, the weather reports and, projected or forecasted historic wind speeds. And I started getting prepared and planning and packing my vehicle, getting my supplies and equipment together, even before I knew of the wildfire. I knew of the wildfire risk and how serious that was going to be. But at the time of planning all of this,
taking over here, explain to me what we're looking at.
So that was one of the first neighborhoods that I entered. Beyond words, there's no pictures or videos that I can capture that shows the severity of the crisis, what firefighters were going through, how there just wasn't enough help, there wasn't enough resources. The firefighters on the front lines were doing an amazing job. They were extinguishing fires. I even pointed out part of a structure that was on fire. They came to it, they extinguished it, they saved that house. They were doing a great job, but the fire was so big and spreading so rapidly, it exceeded the local resources.
It's like a bad, horrific dream.
I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone.